A very warm welcome to our American Golf Championship Tour season review here on Sky Sports. It's been another incredible year as we invited players from all areas of the golfing spectrum to access the sport in its many and varied formats, from juniors to seniors, from complete beginners to experienced golfers, all with the opportunity to qualify for the grand finals hosted at some fantastic venues. And the response was amazing. The tour is all about getting people out there and playing golf, and through months of free-to-enter qualifying events, in-store shootouts and golf shows across the UK and Ireland, more than 7,500 players took part in an incredible 17 tournament categories at 168 venues. And over the last 9 weeks, we've been following the fortunes of the 252 players who qualified for our grand finals in their bid for titles on one of the most diverse tours in the history of golf. Join us over the next hour for all the action, the emotion, the fun, the camaraderie, the highs, the inevitable lows, and the golfing drama of another wonderful year on tour. Coming up on the show, we'll be dropping in on all of this year's American Golf Championship Tour Grand Finals as we update our tour honours board week by week to eventually crown 22 champions. There's plenty to enjoy then on our last show of the year. And it all started with the traditional season opener, the Junior Championship at Gainsborough Golf Club in Lincolnshire, where the first 6 titles were up for grabs. The overall championship trophy, plus the girls, boys and gross trophies for the older players. But we start with a look back at the Future Stars tournament. In the under-8s though, well done to Fallon Sawyers-Grandin and Oscar Hodson, 9th and 8th place in the grand final. Like a few youngsters, Sam Wilson had a moment or two, but he also holed a few nice putts to finish 5th. Ben Wilson in 4th place drained this at the final hole. But the monster shot of the day in the Future Stars category goes to Edward Reeves in 6th place for this chip in at 7. Followed by some quality celebrations. And he wasn't the only player enjoying their time in front of the Sky Sports cameras. Go Oscar! Back to the serious business now though, and a very focused Oliver Strang like the Wilsons finished on +5 but took 3rd place on countback, the title though remaining just out of sight. Hayden Sarfo went 1 shot better, claiming 2nd place on +4 and showing some real skills out there on the course, driving for show and putting for dough as they say. Well, he will be in a few years' time when he's a pro. Thanks to Ollie McAvoy's caddy dad Damien on hand with some calming words to get his man back on track. The Under-8 Future Stars trophy is on its way to Ireland. Congratulations then to Ollie on the win and confirmation of those final scores in the Under-8 division. McAvoy going round in just 40 shots for a sensational mark of +1, but the rest weren't far off the pace here at Gainsborough. So that's a leaderboard of Under-8s who'll be making you guys out there work very hard to defend those club titles in just a couple of years' time. And so to the senior citizens in the Future Stars division, the Over-8s. Alfie Baldwin and Luca Esposito Lee Kemp finished in 9th and 8th, both on +9 in the grand final. Then on +7, Cameron McDonald and George Coombs showed us how their golfing talents were beginning to really develop. Great putt from George. Kai Williams' short game was in great nick as he splashed and putted his way out of trouble to finish +5 for 5th place and start a bit of a theme on our Over-8s leaderboard, which Ethan Wong followed, finishing +4 for 4th. And continuing the theme, Scott McCabe took 3rd with, yes, you guessed it, +3. Jamie Botton 2nd on +2, but it could have been so different if that had dropped at 7. A great performance from Jamie though in the final. Now remember Rudyard Kipling's poem, if you can keep your head while all about you are losing theirs. Well, this was the scene just ahead of Sam McIntyre's round. The 2016 Under-8 champion looked very calm amidst the mayhem of the putting green. Nothing was going to disturb his focus or his chocolate time. A last sip of water and cool as you like, ready to go. Sam set about putting a score together that was just good enough to see off Jamie Botton's challenge. Some really nice touches around the greens from the Alton Hall Junior meant a stress-free tap-in par at the last was good enough for the win. Sam adding the over-8s title to last year's under-8s trophy with a 40-shot 9 holes for +1. Congratulations, Sam, a back-to-back winner on the American Golf Championship Tour in what proved to be a highly competitive over-8s division. And well done to all the future stars. As always, a joy to interview and to watch playing. And to the victor, the spoils. Ollie McAvoy picking up his trophy and prize from Dan Gathercole and Matt Bacon of American Golf and Steve Carter of Ping before jetting off back to Ireland. Here's Ollie.
It was fun and it was really nice playing with different people. My putting was really good, my driving was really good, like everything was really good, and I was really happy to win.
And maintaining his perfect record at the American Golf Future Stars Championship, a real junior ambassador, Sam McIntyre. He's done it all before, of course, but Sam's kid brother Ollie couldn't hide his excitement at a second trophy.
It feels good because I won it last time and I'm happy that I won it 2 times in a row. So yeah, I'm happy, I'm proud of myself. Well, I didn't start off the best, but the last 6 holes I played as good as I probably could. Just keep your head up, just keep smiling, even if you're playing bad. It don't matter if you come first or last, just keep going.
Congratulations then to our first champions of the season, Ollie McAvoy and Sam McIntyre. Back out to the course now for the conclusion of the Junior Championship. We've already crowned our 2 Future Stars champions, but still up for grabs, the boys, girls, overall and gross titles. In the boys tournament, Aidan Abbott went on to finish with 38 points and leads in the clubhouse, but the likes of Keane Honer, Aaron Mahon, William Pontin and this young man, Jake Plum, can all beat that total. He's been playing great golf all day with a smile on his face as well, and that's another lovely approach from Jake. And he's still smiling, no surprise. It just hasn't happened for Ellie Gibson today. Last year's junior girls champion will give up her title. Grace Rigby-Walden leads in the clubhouse on 36 points. Kilbride needs an eagle at 18 to match that, but Smith and Hunt look to be in a great position. As for Ellie, well, she gets another shot at glory next week in the American Golf Long Drive Championship here on Sky Sports. The 14-year-old smashed a 257-yard drive to qualify for the grand final at Haythrock Park, but that's not a bad 119-yarder at the par 3 16th. Now, Libby Kilbride needs to hold this for 35 points in the Girls' Championship and a superb 32 in the gross. It's a good effort. It's a very good effort. Oh, superb. Libby in her 4th year on the American Golf Championship Tour, but just can't quite get her hands on that trophy for the 2nd time. Fantastic tee shot from Jake Plum at 6, and he's got this to go to 33 points with 3 to play. Not quite, but he's still in good shape. Tap that in to go to 32, and that means he's 6 points behind the clubhouse leader, Aidan Abbott. Keane Honer with a pressure putt to lead in the clubhouse in the Gross Championship on 34 points. No, he's missed it. Well, will that be crucial? He is the clubhouse leader on 33 points, but Nathan Newton, still out on the course, can beat him. Well, here's Nathan at 17, and if he can hold it together, 2 pars will be good enough to beat Keane Honer on countback. So he needs this putt to drop. In it goes, and Nathan Newton heads to 18, knowing that a 4 will be good enough to win the Gross Championship. And back to the battle for the Boys' Championship now. William Pontin and Aaron Mahon chasing Jake Plum, who's currently playing the last. 38 leads in the clubhouse, remember, with Aidan Abbott, and this is going to work very nicely indeed. And Pontin still has a shot if he can hold that one for 4 points. 1 hole ahead and slightly less pressure for Madeline Smith. Basically, she's got 3 putts from here for the girls' title. And she's done it in style. Madeline Smith is the girls' champion. She moves to 38, 2 points clear of the clubhouse leader, Grace Rigby-Walden. The boys' championship title, though, is still wide open. Aaron Mahon, William Pontin and Jake Plum all still in the hunt for the trophy. That's another lovely strike from Aaron. And 2 fantastic approaches at 7 from Mahon and Pontin. It's game on, and a case of anything you can do, etc. What clubhouse mark can Jake Plum set in the boys' championship? This was his chip a few moments ago at the last hole, leaving Jake to ponder that net birdie putt to finish on 40 points, which might just be good enough. Big moment then for Jake Plum. And he's holed it. Well played, Jake, the clubhouse leader in the boys' championship. Now, no, it doesn't work like this, but William Pontin's approach at 7 deserves a birdie net eagle. Oh, yes, he's got it. And a 4-pointer just when he needed it. So 6 points required off his last 2 holes to equal Jake Plum's clubhouse leading score. And it's going down to the wire in the boys' championship. Aaron Mahon missed his 4-point putt, but rolls that in for a net birdie for 3 points, takes him to 36. And he's just 4 points behind Jake. Now, this part of Madeline Smith's game has impressed us all day. The girls' championship is in the bag, and she's judged these distances brilliantly. Another cracking long putt from Madeline, but would you believe it? She too putted from there to finish with just a single point. But it didn't matter. Madeline Smith finishing with a winning total of 39 points, 3 clear of Grace Rigby Walden and Lily Rose Hunt, to bring another fantastic girls' championship to a close. Let's hear from the winner.
It means everything because I love golf. It's my favourite thing to do and I really want to carry it on. I would like to thank Gainsborough Golf for hosting this event and American Golf for organising it. I'd like to thank Ping for the amazing prizes that they gave out. I'd like to thank my dad for caddying for me all day and my mum and dad for bringing me here, and I've just had a really good day.
Congratulations, Madeline Smith, our 3rd American Golf champion of the season, and she'll join Ollie and Sam on the honours board at the end of the show. Back to the action in the Gross Championship. Nathan Newton with some pressure here. He's got to get down in 2 to equal the clubhouse leading score of Keen Honer on 33 points, and he's left with a little tester. In the Boys' Championship, 40 points leads in the clubhouse with Jake Plum. William Pontin, unfortunately, is out of the running down the last, but his playing partner, this young man, Aaron Mahon, can still do it, and that is a very good chip from Aaron. He's got 2 from there to take the win. Now, playing golf with your mates, this putt is easy, but for the American Golf Gross Championship title, it's a whole different ballgame for Nathan Newton. Well done, Nathan. In it goes for a final total of 33 points to beat Keen Honer on countback and claim the Gross Championship. A great effort in the end from Keen, but if his putt hadn't horseshoed out at the 18th, the title would have been his. And well done to Libby Kilbride, a good round of golf to take 3rd place on countback. Time then to hear from the champion.
I feel really good, I played quite well today. Wasn't really expecting to win with the score, but it was very tough out there. I thought the course was great though today. Came close last year, but managed just to go that bit further this year and win.
Congratulations to Nathan Newton, destined for the honours board, and so is Aaron Mahon. He had 2 from here to win the Boys' Championship, and he took 2, finally claiming a title at the Junior Championships after 3 years of trying. 41 points, his final total to win the boys' title ahead of Jake Plum and William Pontin. But because his score was also the best net score on the day, Aaron is crowned the American Golf Junior Overall Champion. Madeline Smith's 39 points making her the top girls player this year. It's a real success story for the tour, Aaron making his way through the ranks of the future stars to be crowned a junior champion.
Played this tournament 3 years in a row, 3rd time lucky. Before the first 2 years I've been playing in the Future Stars. This year I've finally done what I came for. It feels awesome.
A fantastic achievement by Aaron and all of our Junior and Future Stars players and champions, but it's Aaron, Nathan, Madeline, Sam and Ollie whose names make it onto the Championship Tour Honours Board. We'll be crowning 3 more champions as we head to Haythrop Park Resort for some high-octane big-hitting action. Coming up after the break, we're cleared for takeoff at the American Golf Long Drive Championship, right here on Sky Sports. Welcome back to the American Golf Championship Tour Season Review. Next stop on the calendar was the majestic Haythrop Park Resort in Oxfordshire, a new host venue for the Long Drive Championship. And we had a special guest joining us in the commentary box. Lee Cox, distance expert and coach to 2-time world champion Joe Miller, was on hand. As the players competed for the ladies over 45 and under 45 men's titles at the official UK qualifier for the World Championships in the USA. Up first was the over 45 men's final, where the 2016 runner-up David Wilmore took on the 2015 runner-up Charles Siao. Both players with a point to prove after coming so close to claiming that world title spot in previous years. The final of the over 45 men's, the toss won by Charles Siao, and decided to put David Wilmore into bat. So 2 minutes 45 on the clock, 6 balls to go, and he wants to try and avoid what he did last year in the final, namely not hitting the grid.
Yeah, a lot of long drivers like to come out second and see what they've got to beat. You'll see that with a lot of these guys, they'll choose to go second.
Well, big cheer from the fan club, but in all honesty, Lee, that's not a great shot from David, but it's on.
It's in the grid. There's a number down. It's not great. David will be a little bit disappointed there. He's much better than that. His numbers should produce, but there is a score. There is a number there to beat.
Still plenty of time and plenty of balls though for Charles Siao. Yeah, another smooth swing, Lee.
Yeah, he's keeping his rhythm nicely here. It's really difficult to do in the time and under the pressure, but that's a nice goal swing.
And that's going to be good enough to settle the nerves for Charles Siao and take the first set. Now let's look at his numbers.
Suspect he's dropped his speed down a little bit here just to get the ball in play. A little bit more like a playing swing. Yeah, 117 club head speed. He's just done the job here. He's done what he needed to do.
As Bing Crosby used to say, straight down the middle. Good enough for Charles Siao at 3:51 to take a 1-0 lead over David Wilmore. This is a tough moment for him. No score yet. Oh, and that one's gone as well. It's not happening, I'm afraid, for David Wilmore. And just like last year, he couldn't find the grid, he couldn't find a score, and there's no pressure on Charles Siao.
I think he's just got to keep doing what he's doing. He's been hitting the grid more than the others. I think he's going to close this out.
Doesn't need a big number, just needs it on the grid. But sometimes easier said than done. And David Wilmore, what must he be thinking? He's got so close again, a second year in the final, but this, I think, is going to be good enough.
This looks like it's in, middle of the grid. It's all over. Off to the Worlds.
Congratulations to Charles. Third time lucky is the cliche, but let's be honest, there was no luck about it. Precision power hitting all day from a player who has dedicated himself to becoming the best long driver he can be. Commiserations to David Wilmore. 2 finals in a row, but still no ticket to the Worlds. Something tells me he'll get there one day, though. He's too good not to. Right then, let's hear from the champion.
You've been trying for so long to get this title and you've finally done it.
Yes, actually, last 3 years, every year I tried, and finally I got the win. This is my dream come true.
Congratulations to Charles Siao, off to the World Championships in Oklahoma. Next up, the ladies, where a dramatic day saw the defending American golf champion Rebecca McGinley knocked out, and then rising star 14-year-old Elle Gibson from England make the final to meet another new hitter on the block, Scotland's Ilona Stubley. Both players involved in their first ever long drive event, but making the final for a shot at that ticket to the Worlds. It's a cracking matchup for the final. The referee, Phil Davies, with the coin toss. He signed that coin, you know. And it's won by Elle, and Elle has decided to put Ilona in first. And I can tell you, Lee, Ilona absolutely hates going first. And 282 on the board, time running out. And she's in a bit of trouble here.
These have been the 2 most consistent performers of the day. I think it's the right matchup in the final. And the way they've been both going, they're both going to hit the grid. There's going to be some great numbers in this final.
282 on the board, but that's another great shot from Ilona Stubley. And she's managed to squeeze a few more yards out for 289. So in the end, turned it into a pretty positive visit to the tee, but you could see she wasn't comfortable, but despite that, she's got some numbers up there. Elle's mum Lynn watched on nervously as her daughter was running out of balls and time to beat Ilona's distance in set 1. Let's get back to the action.
Another good shot. She's been filling the grid up all day. Let's see what happens when it lands.
Solid. Good roll as well, and that might be good enough, you know. That's a fantastic effort. 296. And Elle Gibson has pulled it out once again when it mattered.
I think this is living up to the final we hoped for as well. What a great number.
Good start from Ilona Stubley, but the youngster, Elle Gibson, just 14 years of age, has gone past her with this fabulous technique of hers, and it's only going to get better.
Oh, those high hands at the top, that massive spinal flexibility. Wow.
That's about all you can say, literally, wow. Good start then. Have we got a massive story on our hands potentially here at Haythrop Park? 296 for Elle Gibson. She takes out the first set against Ilona Stubley, and the teenager might be on her way to Oklahoma.
Well, it'll be a fascinating finish here. She's got to come from 2 back. She's got the edge on speed, but can she actually make it count?
Ilona Stubley's been brilliant all day. Very impressive, as Lee said, with that club head speed, and this looks good. Again, excellent flight. They've been peppering that 300-yard line all day, and that's another one going the distance. And Stubley asking a few questions here, and the crowd loving this. 299 then. These are good numbers, and this is impressive from Stubley.
Yeah, 100 miles an hour swing, peppering down the middle of the fairway again. So impressive how they've filled the grid up. And the swing, that hip turn, fantastic, great leg action again. Knees slightly flexed, she can just unload from there.
That's where all the power comes from, and enough power to send it out to 299 yards. Elle Gibson back to the stage then, just one good hit away from an historic qualification for the World Championships. It's another good shot. She sent it way out there down the grid. No, just checked up.
Oh, it's dug in, it's dug in.
And this is not going to run out. And Ilona Stubley is going to take this second set. 295 for Gibson, 299 for Stubley. And Stubley is still alive in this tournament. And a place at the World Long Drive Championships is still on for the Scotswoman. Into the tiebreaker then. And this is real pressure.
Ilona's won the toss. She's put Elle in. This is how you want it. The 2 stellar performers of today, head-to-head, last set, to go to the Worlds. It doesn't get any better.
Oh, it's a fantastic shot from Elle Gibson. What a time to find it. And again, nudging the 300-yard line, 299. And Elle Gibson says to her opponent, go on then, beat that.
4 balls in the grid in the final set. That's putting a number, that's putting something down there. Love it.
That is a spectacular picture, isn't it? Looking back up towards the house.
Well, I've rarely been to many places that have better setups and better grids. Nothing can be faulted. It's terrific.
The clock is started. Ilona Stubley would like to get this job done sooner rather than later. It's a decent swing, you know. It's a decent swing. It's gone all the way, and that's it.
What a final shot. It looked like carried 280. I haven't seen anyone else carry it out that far. What a way to tie it up.
Time to hear from the champion then. She's with Gemma Kerr.
Congratulations, you must be absolutely thrilled.
Yeah, I was just saying, I don't think it's sunk in yet, but yeah, absolutely buzzing though.
It was a nail-biting finish though. How do you keep your cool?
I don't know. I just knew I had to hit it, so I think that was the thing. In the third set, you just may as well go for it because there's nothing to lose there.
Well done, Ilona, the ladies' champion for 2017. And so to the last American Golf Long Drive title on the line this year in the Under-45 Men's Championship. A stunning day's action left just 2 gladiators standing for the final battle. England's Dan Connick through to the final, having taken down reigning champion Lucas Dornan in the quarters. The big cone looking to make his 15th World Championships. And he took to the stage against 6'7" tall German Timo Petrasch, the 29-year-old here in the UK to compete for the only World Championship qualification place left in Europe. It was a final with all the ingredients to be a classic. Let's get to the action. Dan Connick took the first set with a 389-yard ball and had control of this best-of-3 set final. His opponent, Germany's Timo Petrasch, going out of grid with all 6 balls and recording no score. Set 2, and Timo Petrasch was in all sorts of trouble. He just couldn't find the grid, and he only had 1 ball left. And this is it, last chance saloon. And there we go, the German contingent right behind him. Dan Connick can't watch. And Timo Petrasch with 1 ball left. He's got it, he's only got it. That has gone way down the grid. And you said it, Lee, the emotion is coming through now.
Oh, that's what you've got to love about long drive, really. It's never over, you're still in the game. And he's pumped. He's pumped for this last set now.
Everyone's pumped, and there's our announcer, Jeff Swain, enjoying the moment. He's pacing around on that tee, Timo Petrash, but my goodness me, last chance, and he found it when he needed it. 384 to win the set. It was a sensational ball under pressure and an even more impressive celebration. The adrenaline was definitely flowing as they headed into the tiebreaker. And we're back to where we were at the end of the second set. Last chance saloon for one of Germany's finest long hitters. Oh, he's suffering, isn't he? He really is feeling it.
Sure, he's got one shot, 50 seconds left. He's got loads of time. He ain't under pressure from the time. He's under pressure from his swing at the moment.
Trying to get the crowd on side. But Dan has got a lot of supporters here at Haythrop Park today. It's on its way, but I don't know that this is going to hold the grid. No, it isn't. It's out. And the unthinkable, I'm afraid, has happened. Timo Petrash in the tiebreaker has not registered a number. Dan Connick then needed just one ball in the grid for the win.
He's in playing mode here. He's going to go fade. He's going to chip this down there. Don't worry about any distances here. Book your ticket. It's over.
Yes, I think it's over. The crowd think it's over as well. And he's done exactly what you said, Lee. Straight down the middle, and he's on his way to the States.
Everyone's been saying how the competition's been getting better and better year on year.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, the standard 16 guys that qualified out of, I think 5,000 people who entered to come out on top's good. And obviously, like you said, the standard of hitter, yeah, top notch. You know, balls over 400 all day long. So, yeah, I had to keep it going, which is, for an old guy, it's not too bad.
Well done to Dan Connick, Ilona Stubley and Charles Siao off to the World Championships and onto our Tour Honours Board to join the other winners so far this season. After the break, we're off to the Belfry as the remaining 176 grand finalists battle it out for the last 8 titles up for grabs on the American Golf Championship Tour, right here on Sky Sports. Welcome back to the American Golf Championship Tour season review. Having crowned winners at the junior and long drive events, the Tour landed here at the Belfry for the last of the grand finals, with the players competing for a place in the Tournament of Champions at the Heritage Resorts in Mauritius, in the family, ladies, senior, individual, 9-hole pairs and scratch events. And with the exception of the scratch tournament, all the remaining championships were to be decided with a 9-hole match play shootout in the final. Next up on the tour calendar, the Family Championship, where father and son team Ian and James Fox from Leyland Golf Club in Lancashire took on 2 local lads. Brothers in arms, Alan and Ian Gandy from Droitwich Golf Club in the family final. The Foxes got off to a cunning start and held on to that advantage through most of the back 9 on the Brabazon. The Gandys did go all square at one point with some creative golf, showing some real fight on the iconic Ryder Cup course. But back in control at 16, this calmly executed chip from son James Fox was good enough to seal the deal. The Foxes winning 3 and 2 to claim the 10th championship title on this year's tour. Congratulations to Ian and James. The Ladies' Championship was back for a second year on the calendar, and there was some early drama with the exit of defending champions Maggie Hopkins and Sarah Cooper-Olsen, leaving the way clear for some new names on the trophy. Making it through to the match play final, Rochdale Golf Club's Lisa Duffy and Michelle Black, who took on the Irish team of Orla McGuinness and Kay Farrell. There was no escaping the fact that the Rochdale pairing dominated the championship decider from start to finish, playing some very good golf on the Brabazon back 9 to forge a lead that they never relinquished. McGuinness and Farrell battled hard, but just couldn't hold the putts to prolong the match. And it was all over at 15, Black and Duffy winning 4 and 3 to take the title and start celebrating their place at the Tournament of Champions. Congratulations to Lisa and Michelle. Such was the demand for this year's inaugural Par 3 Championship that an extra tournament at Three Hammers Golf Club had to be created, which left us with 2 short game champions, Sean Mason and Paul Stokes. What else to do but create a bespoke Par 3 course on the Brabazon and hold a 9-hole match play decider at the Grand Finals. Paul Stokes found himself in a battle to take the match down the last and was in trouble again at 8. When he missed the green, Sean Mason took his chance to put the pressure on. After chipping back across the green, Paul knew he needed to hold this one to stay in the final. It was a superb effort, but he knew the door was left open, and Sean had 2 putts from here to take the trophy. The first putt was classy, just like Paul's decision to concede and congratulate the inaugural American Golf Par 3 champion on his win. Well done to Sean Mason, the next name to join our winners on this season's Tour Honours Board. From Par 3 to Adventure Golf and another new event on this year's calendar. Hundreds of players entered the qualifiers across the UK at various adventure golf courses, and the 12 pairs that made the grand final were here at the Belfry to compete for the title on the Ryder Legends mini golf course. Through to the match play shootout were Peter Jones and Richard Gottfried to take on Simon Lee and Stephen GERRISH in what proved to be a dramatic final. Our first hole-in-one of the Championship Tour season. The West Country boys going 2 up at the halfway point. At 7, a great shot from Stephen left teammate Simon a tap-in to put them 3 up with 5 to play. GERRISH and Lee were building a potentially match-winning lead. A half at 8 was followed by an emotional save from the bunker at 9. As Simon ensured the team would head to the 10th, Dormy 3 up. Just 3 holes left then, and Richard Gottfried knew that he and Peter Jones had to win all of them. Peter gave it his best shot, going so close to his second hole-in-one of the day, but leaving the door open for their opponents to take the title as the ball slid by. Stephen GERRISH then with a putt to make history. Yes. And the inaugural Adventure Golf title was theirs with a 3-2 victory. Congratulations to Stephen and Simon on a fantastic win. Another successful golfing initiative joined the calendar and 2 more names added to the Tour Honours Board. Next up, the ever-popular Senior Championship, where the players were up to mischief once again.
Any preparation specifically for this tournament?
Yeah, well, we went on the 6 weeks to the Andes for high altitude training. Well, my dad here said it'd be good for us, you know.
Yeah, it's very cheeky.
I'm getting that impression, yeah. Tell me, what do you both do? Because you were in the same profession, weren't you?
I'm still serving in the army, and I've just come off exercise just to play this competition. Now I go back on exercise on Saturday morning, so just here for 2-3 days, hopefully 3 days.
I was in the army. I'm now officially a house husband, so I'm not quite retired as Mark said, but hey ho, gives me plenty of time to play golf.
So you must both be quite disciplined, so I'm sure that's going to play well today for you.
Yes, sir.
After the prelim rounds and knockout semi-finals, the match play final was between defending champions Martin Leo and Ian Hendry versus Irish pair John Greer and Neil McDonnell on the back 9 of the Brabazon. Let's get to the action. And we are now into last chance saloon here. Neil McDonnell it will be, needs to hold this. Oh my goodness me. That was brilliant. Great hands from the Irishman, but it's not a great result. He held a couple of absolute belters on camera last year, did Ian Hendry, but he's been a bit quiet on the putting front this year. Can he hold this for glory? No. And look how far short he's left this putt. All that talk of not feeling any pressure from this pair. You don't leave a putt that short if you're not feeling something. Still thinking clearly though. Just resetting himself ahead of this putt. And here we go, second bite at the cherry to win the 2017 American Golf Senior Championship. the first successful defence of an American golf title since Rebecca McGinley won back-to-back long drive championships last year. Congratulations to Ian Hendry and Martin Leo off to Mauritius and the Tournament of Champions. Next up on the tour, another new event, the individual 9-hole championship. Again, the players came through qualifiers earlier this year to make the grand final at the Belfry, and a real mix of abilities and handicaps produced a great 3 days of golf, which eventually saw 7-handicapper Jason Owen make the final as number 1 seed to take on 12-handicapper and number 3 seed Steve Holmes. The final proved to be an entertaining affair, Jason making the initial running and taking the lead at the 179-yard par 3-12, creating the opportunity with this stunning tee shot and upping the stakes in this edgy encounter. So completely absorbed in the match, Jason made a superb birdie to take the lead and decided to celebrate that fact with his slightly bemused opponent, Steve. But this year's Penn Golf Club captain didn't let that get to him, recovering the situation and then producing a run of consistent approaches and putts to ruthlessly take the initiative away from his opponent. Eventually setting up a match-winning opportunity at 17, where he rolled in the putt to claim the inaugural American Golf Individual Championship. Jason magnanimous in defeat, Steve claiming the trophy and his place on the Tour Honours Board, which was getting pretty full with just 2 more titles up for grabs this year. Join us after the break for more action from the 9-hole pairs and scratch championships right here on Sky Sports. Welcome back to the Belfry and the American Golf Championship Tour season review. Just 2 more titles to be decided in this bumper year, and next up on the calendar, the ever-popular 9-hole pairs championship was back for its 3rd year on the tour. The competition was fierce to make the knockout semi-finals, with 3 teams out of 4 qualifiers making it into the 60-point zone. After 2 tight semis, number 2 seeds Fulford Heath, Scott Nixon and Ross Holmes made the title decider, where they took on number 4 seeds Paul Hutton and Howard Burton from Wortley Golf Club. Out on the course, Holmes and Nixon found themselves 1 down on the 14th tee, with their opponents both on the green and in good shape. Ross Holmes last to hit. So he and Scott Nixon trail in this match, 1 down. Striking the ball well today though is Ross Holmes. This looks good. This is all over the flag. Our second televised hole-in-one of the season belonged to Ross Holmes, and more importantly, he and Scott Nixon were back on level terms in the pairs final. At 15, Scott turned the match on its head, rolling this putt in to take the lead, and heading to 16 with 1 foot on the plane to Mauritius and the Tournament of Champions. Let's get to the concluding action. So Holmes and Nixon 1 up, but Ross has this putt to stay in that position. Confident strike, and another one glides by. 2 fantastic steps forward for Holmes and Nixon at 14 and 15, but a very big step back at 16. Hutton and Burton win the hole to take this final back to all square with 2 to play. At the 530-yard par 5 17th, Holmes kept it together and plotted his way to the green. His delightful chip snuggling close to the pin, putting the pressure right back on Hutton and Burton. Here we go again with the drama, and it's there. Somebody just needs to reach out and grab this match by the scruff of the neck. Putt from Burton, nice pace, nice pace. Would you believe it? And that's what golf can do to you. Burton with a genuine look of anguish, followed by the desire to eat his putter. And that means that this putt from Ross Holmes takes on a new meaning. This is to win the hole and go back to 1 up in this match with 1 to play. No joy for Holmes and Nixon, and for the first time this season, one of our match play finals was going down the 18th with all to play for. And as we look at the 18th green, I can tell you Scott Nixon has gone into the bunker on the right-hand side, which means this man, Howard Burton, can be the only man on the dance floor in regulation. And he's done it. Terrific shot from Burton under pressure. And that means advantage to the Wortley Golf Club pair. Now, from the bunker, Scott Nixon did very well indeed, Great shot across the 18th, and from there it means that he and Ross Holmes still have an outside chance to win this match. Howard Burton has played the 18th quite beautifully, but if he doesn't hole this, he knows that Scott NIXON has a putt for the title. It's a terrific effort. That really is a good putt. But the crowd now gathered round the back of the 18th to watch this drama unfold, because every putt is crucial from here in what has been the pick of the match play finals this season. Scott NIXON then with the big one, past the hole, and continues to roll, and that could be real trouble. Unlikely to influence the final from here, but Paul Hutton drained his putt for a bogey. And I wonder if he did that just to give Howard Burton a bit of encouragement. Look, there you go, easy as that. Biggest putt of Scott NIXON's season. If he holds it, then it could be the win, or it could be a playoff. Oh, he's missed it, and that brings the third part of the equation into play. That's the part that neither Scott NIXON or Ross Holmes wanted to think about. And it means that Howard Burton now has this putt for the title. An emotional winning putt then for Howard Burton as he and Paul Hutton take a classic one-up victory to claim the American Golf 9-hole pairs title. Just one more title to be decided this year then, as the elite amateurs join the tour for the Scratch Championship, where one man, Chris Abbott, dominated from start to finish. There was some great golf on the way as the field took on the PGA National in round one, followed by 36 holes on the mighty Brabazon in some tricky, breezy weather conditions. Billy Ray, Tom Ruddle, Chris Brook and Joe Retford played well enough to make top 5 in amongst some entertaining golf in the final round. Chris Abbott found himself 1 under and way clear of the chasing pack when he birdied 3, but a worrying bogey run from 10 through 15 had Chris falling back to the pack until he recovered his composure at 16. And the rest, as they say, is history. After a par at 17, it was clear that the 18th was going to be Chris Abbott's victory lap, a lap of honour that he took in some style, starting with a blistering tee shot into position A. Followed by an approach that, if offered, most of the field would have taken at the last. Then a confident walk to the green, knowing that the last place on the plane to Mauritius was his. He was only an inch away from finishing with a birdie to claim the title, but a terrific putt to end with a par, and confirmation that Chris Abbott was the inaugural American Golf Scratch champion, adding his name to this year's list of winners and completing what might just be the most eclectic tour honours board you'll ever see. Congratulations to all our champions in this incredible season. And from the Belfry to Mauritius, as our winners finish the season in style, playing in the Tournament of Champions at the Heritage Golf Club. Time now for a final word about the year that was from the events manager at American Golf, Matt Bacon.
The main thing is it's been worthwhile. It's been fantastic. And the amount of people that are turning up, the amount of people that are getting involved, the amount of people that are talking about it afterwards, it's what we want. We want to see more people playing golf and enjoying themselves. I'd like to thank our partners and our sponsors that have supported us this year, and Sky Sports for believing in us, televising the events, and hopefully together we can grow the game. It's not just about what we're doing at the moment, but it's about the legacy. That's really important to us. Loving golf, enjoying golf, and getting out there and playing.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is that for the 2017 season. Thank you for your company over the last 10 weeks on our journey to crown 22 champions across 17 tournament categories on one of the most diverse golf tours on the planet. Well done to all the players who took part this season, and I guess that leaves just one thing to say. From all of us at the American Golf Championship Tour team, have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we'll see you in 2018.